It's 3:49 in the morning, and I have officially given up on sleep, which is okay. I have decided to make a video talking and walking around my space because I feel like I'm ready to share a little bit of this colorful space that I've been blessed in receiving. It's so funny, I was living in the forest in a 33-foot school bus with no running water, no electricity, not even an outhouse. Like, I was digging holes in the forest, and it just happened to be a piece of land that I owned. Long story there. But it was raw forest land in the middle of the woods. It was about almost 9,000 feet in the East Mountains of, I wouldn't say northern New Mexico, I would say northeastern New Mexico, not even like eastern New Mexico. But many things happened to lead me to the realization that living alone in the woods was not necessarily conducive to my mental health and what I really wanted. When I first fled society and went into the forest, it was an act of rebellion, but around 2018, I started really craving humanity and community and friends and even lovers at that point. By 2019, things were getting kind of dicey as far as like the winter of 2019, or the winter of 2018 leading into the spring of 2019. I was like, okay, I fully understand cabin fever now, and shit's gonna get real fucking wacky if I don't get some human interaction. So by August of 2019, I moved into a small town in northern New Mexico, and I was so excited. I had a bicycle and I got a job. More like the job hunted me down at a bakery slash Middle Eastern restaurant, and I was just like living the dream, but still completely alone and trying to build community. And one thing I didn't realize is that the last time I lived in civilization, things were different. Like, you could actually make friends. You could go to the library. You could like meet someone at the grocery store. You could go to the bar. You could like, see someone on the street walking their dog and exchange numbers. But that was 10 years prior, like early 2000s. By the time that I crawled out of the woods to reconnect with my human fellow man, it was 2019, August of 20. I'm going to start walking so you guys don't get bored, but it was August of 2019 when I decided, that's it, we're doing the village life. And by obviously 2020, I've been living there only 6 months, and I didn't really have friends or community. I had a job which disintegrated with COVID, and then quarantine in a place where I didn't really know anybody. And that was interesting. So I came out of hiding just in time for COVID. And then it kept going on and kept going on and kept going on. And at that point, things got pretty dicey socially for me. I was living communally in a place. It wasn't really a community. It was more like a boarding house. And the kind of people that had gathered at the boarding house were, it was kind of like they had nowhere else to go, and no family, and they weren't really about community. And long story short, I attracted a very strange sort of couple of stalkers who decided that if they couldn't have me, nobody would. And basically fled that little town for my life, and it's how I ended up here. I'm in southern New Mexico now, and long story short, yeah, I decided that once I got here, it was time once again to try again. Community. I'm ready for community. I'm ready to put my anchor down, maybe invest in a piece of something, sell my land, and maybe, I don't know, try to find that thing that I've been searching for. And then I got this apartment about a month ago and have been just building it up and building it up for a space to do all the magic things that I do. I won't get into it right now, but I do a few things. And it seems to be the perfect setup, but it's just starting to get going. And, it's November, 14th. And the whole world has changed in the last couple of weeks. And it's like moving to civilization in time for COVID to hit. I created a space for community and alternative meow mix and healing and a safe space. And then the election happened and everything's different, and financially everything's about to change, and my income's about to change, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but it seems like people aren't really spending money right now. And the kind of work I do depends on people's disposable income, So here we are, and it's going on 4 a.m. Once again, I can't sleep, and I'm in this huge, beautiful space. I'm not sure which direction to go or how any bills are going to get paid, and I know that I'm in a cush position compared to a lot of people. I'm still on the thread of the edge of society where I'm still okay. I don't have kids. I didn't get married. I don't have dependents. I'm making a beautiful life. I volunteer. I can afford to volunteer. I still have food. I have a really old car, but it gets good gas mileage. There's no one actively attacking me in the streets right now, which has not always been the case. But I do have a pale complexion and blue eyes and blonde hair, and I really understand. I mean, maybe I don't, but I do understand that that is a privileged position to have, especially in this country right now. And so things are fucking intense, but I'm part of the majority as far as being privileged in this society. I'm not sure what to do with that other than to try to use it for good. There's so many things I want to talk about, but I do have fear that being honest might have a backlash, because in the past, being honest has almost gotten me killed a few times, which I'm sure there are millions of people on this planet who experience that. But right now I don't really have a community, and I don't have, I have support from a family member, but the rest, I've severed all ties. I have friends and I have loved ones, but we're all kind of going through it and struggling, so I'm not really part of a unit. I'm on my own, so self-preservation has been huge for me. And lately, I have been just keeping myself private, trying to figure out where my niche is to help and express and do something to make the world a better place. This YouTube channel is one of the places where I feel like I actually maybe put a little bit of something positive into the world. Sometimes it's all I got. I started it because I had no friends, I had no life. I was living in a new town, and then COVID hit. So YouTube was my only community, even though, albeit it was small. Anyways, thank you for listening. This is going to be one of many midnight rants.